Hey there friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today we finally have some new Remnant 2 information to talk about, and I am very excited about all this. While it isn't full details or a trailer, it does give us enough to know what is coming next with the game, and this is one of my favorite games of 2023, so I always look forward to whenever they drop new content. Now, if you did miss it, today is the 1-year anniversary of Remnant 2, and the developers over at Gunfire Games apologized because they had initially stated that all 3 DLC attached to Remnant 2 would be released within a year. However, they made a tough decision to move it back until September 2024 for the next DLC because they needed to polish it a bit more, add more content, make it the biggest DLC yet, is what they've said, and we're getting a new mode that I want to talk about as well. So all of that means I'm perfectly okay waiting an extra month or two just to get the best content possible for this next DLC. So they did say that the new DLC, which is the final DLC, which is important because I think people were holding out hope that we would get more Remnant 2 content. Although personally, I would love to see them work on another game going forward, whether that it's another Remnant game or possibly a Darksiders game or something like that. That remains to be seen. But anyway, the new DLC is called The Dark Horizon and is coming in September 2024. Players will return to the necropolis world of Nehrud only to discover that a bizarre phenomenon has taken hold. Stay tuned for more information and reveals as we get closer to the launch of The Dark Horizon. Now, they also say our goal of The Dark Horizon is to be the most expansive DLC for Remnant 2. Not only have we packed this DLC full of even more of the Remnant greatness you've come to expect, we're also hard at work on a brand new game mode which will be free for everyone that will reveal soon, along with a new progression system. So that's very exciting to me. I do feel like the biggest issue with the game in the last 2 DLCs is once you go through the campaign part, once you find a bunch of the secrets, there doesn't seem a lot to do in comparison to when the base game you just wanted to replay things over and over and over again. So having the new mode, which has been heavily rumored to be something like a survival mode like we saw with the original Remnant game, I think that would work wonders so you can test your builds, earn different rewards, all that kind of good stuff. And knowing that it's free for everyone, you don't need to purchase the DLC to get that new mode is also a nice touch. The new progression system is also interesting because I do feel like they're going to make it so you're going to want to continue playing a little bit longer than we have in the past, like I mentioned. And I think that's very, very important because the thing that happens with the Remnant DLC is people jump back in, they're very hyped, they stay for a few weeks, and then the player base naturally drops off, which is understandable because it isn't a live service game or anything like that, but it would be nice to keep players interested for a bit longer, and I hope this is something that does that. Now, they say, while we're not happy about delaying this DLC release, one you've been itching to jump into already, we feel very lucky to see your ongoing support and loyalty to the Remnant franchise. Past year has been nothing short of amazing. We're glad that Remnant 2 and this DLC have brought you as much joy as it has brought us creating this world. That said, we're not quite done yet. More news about the Dark Horizon DLC will come soon. Thanks again for your continued support and for being an essential part of the Remnant family. We are excited for what the future holds and look forward to sharing more adventures with you, the Gunfire Games team. Now, it doesn't seem like we are getting any content in between the 2 DLC 2 and 3, which we've seen in the past that they have done. They have had, like, for example, an event that you can obtain new variants of existing weapons, for example, and not doing that in between DLC 2 and 3 is kind of frustrating. But again, if it does mean that the 3rd DLC is one that keeps people engaged for longer than DLC 2, it'll be worthwhile. And I know they want to make it so when people come back, they stay around for a while, which is very important, especially when you're trying to make this game a fun co-op option. It's hard when you go into the matchmaking and you just don't see a lot of other people playing at any given time. It can be a little bit frustrating if you're trying to play co-op. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you surprised that the next DLC is going to Nehrud? I am personally not. I had speculated about this in a video. I had hoped that we are going to a different location, maybe a location from Remnant 1, but I'm unsurprised that they decided to have one DLC at each location. It probably makes things a lot easier. it allows them to integrate more content overall rather than generating brand new spaces. So that does make sense in a way. But again, I can see why people would be frustrating. We also haven't heard about a new archetype. We haven't heard about any of the new weapons. Nothing's been teased there yet either. So I'll be very curious to see what they have in store for us. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. I'll definitely be jumping back into Remnant 2, not only as we get new information about this DLC, whether it's trailers or just news. Hopefully we get some buffs and nerfs to align the meta going into the next DLC as well, and I'll definitely let you know as we hear about any of that. But also, once the DLC does drop, I'll have full walkthroughs and guides and all that kind of good stuff like you would expect from me going forward. Anyway, my name is JoPa. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, have a good one, and I will catch you all later.